Meeting in 2 weeks. So let's literally go back to square one, a couple of guard attacks from the Kimura and the Kimura sweep. Okay. From here, Gabe, let's say I got taken down, I managed to make my way to the closed guard. Gabe is probably not going to be up like this. He's going to start getting grips on me, he's going to sit back, he's going to start getting ready to pass basically. Okay. So my job is to get his hands to the floor if I want to go for the Kimura series here. Okay. We're going to go over the submission into the sweep and then the sweep into the submission. But we're going to go over them independently. So here, if at any point, whether I manipulate Gabe here or Gabe just makes a mistake because he's tired and leaves his hands on the mat, as soon as his hand hits the mat, don't even think about it, grab his wrist. Okay? So I'm going to go this way because everybody's over here. As you know, we're fighting, we're doing whatever. As soon as his hand hits the mat, I'm going to grab his wrist as low to the floor as I can. Right now, I'm grabbing his wrist in my left hand, so I'm going to unhook my guard, and my right foot is going to touch the floor. Notice how my knees are still pinched together. I don't want him just to be able to walk up and out of my guard. Okay? Left hand grabs the wrist, right hand hits the floor. From here, I'm going to roll up onto my left elbow, and most importantly, I'm going to get my hips as high up off the floor as I can as I throw the right hand over. So, I get up onto my left elbow, I get my hips off the floor, not just a little bit, but literally, my hips are hitting his body. And I get my right arm over and connect the figure four here. Again, I cannot stress this enough. Your hips need to be as high off the floor as you can. I'm literally hanging onto his back, or his body, with my left foot right now. From here, when I'm ready to finish the Kimura, I don't roll back. My butt goes out, and I'm trying to get 90 degrees to my opponent. So again, I don't roll straight back. I'm going to sit my butt out, and I should be able to look into Gabe's ear here. From here, if your opponent is strong, you're not going to be able to finish on the flat of your back. So what I'm going to do is rotate until I'm facing him, and then extend for the finish. Make sure you keep his arm as close to his body as you can, right? Don't let him straighten it out. Never let it pass 90 degrees because strong guys will straighten out and avoid the lock. So let's go with that again. Yeah, maybe I manipulated him into hitting the floor, right? I'm going to pull in with my knees. I'm going to swing my hands in, and I'm going to grab the left side, only because everybody's on the left. If his head's over here, I would honestly grab the right, but everybody's over there, so I'm just going to demonstrate that way. Left hand grabs his wrist, right hand hits the floor, knees tight. Roll up onto the left elbow as my right arm comes over, lift your hips as high off the floor as you can, and make that figure four connection. From here, don't sit straight back. I'm trying to sit out and get onto my right butt cheek. So I sit out and flat on my back right now, so I'm going to adjust until I'm on my right side and scrape up the body until I get the tap. Here. Any questions? All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. Go! As you're pushing up. So again, the importance of turning your body once you get the Kimura. So I did everything right, boom, I got here, I'm here. And let's say, look at, I'm facing the ceiling right now, right? So my arms are in a pushing motion, are very powerful, generally the direction of my chest. It's a very weak push if I try to go this way. Think of bench pressing, right? You have a very strong bench press this way, very weak going this way, right? Because it's not in the direction of my chest. So you're a really strong opponent and you're trying to finish the Kimura here, you might not be able to. If you run into that problem, watch, I'm going to use my legs to turn towards the direction I want to push. Look, now I'm bench pressing this way. Now I have a lot more power to finish that Kimura. Cool, I just wanted to go over that before the sweep. All right, let's get to the sweep now. Let's connect it to the Kimura we just did. I'm not going to lie, this is not my favorite way to do the Kimura, but I'm teaching it because it is effective, and I've seen a couple of you guys pull this off, especially Nas, even though I yell him to never be on the elbow. So I'm here, I get to the Kimura position here, but he starts sitting back. Yeah, because he realizes that I'm about to Kimura him. So he's sitting back, and it's going to be really hard for me to get this lock. I can do the sweep from the elbow. If you're pressed for time and you feel like you don't have enough time to reset back onto the arm, go ahead and do this from the elbow. If you can get to your arm and get your hips high, even better. Let's do it from the elbow first because, boom, we went for the Kimura, we missed it. My hips are still off the ground. I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to lace his elbow here. I want it tight to my body. I'm going to look behind me where I'm going, right? I'm going to the left, so I'm going to look over my left shoulder. Just like in Muay Thai, I'm going to boost off the ground with my right foot and essentially kick with my hips here to take him over. And look where we ended up. I didn't end up that way. I started facing that way and I turned him 180 degrees. Okay, let's look at that again. I'm going to do it from the hand this time, but the principles remain the same. From here, I went for the Kimura here, but yeah, now he's sitting back. Okay, now I'm gonna get up onto the hand. My hips are still high. Oh, sorry. My hips are still high. My leg is still laced. Nothing changes in terms of the lower body. I lace his elbow with my right hand because if I'm doing this technique and he sticks that arm out, I'm not going to be able to take him over. It becomes a post. So I want to eliminate his post by keeping him close to my body. I boost off my right foot and I whip my body around to the left. Look, we're starting facing this way. By the time I finish, I should be 180 degrees and I'm holding on to that arm because that eliminates his ability to bridge. Whether you do it from your elbow or your hand, make sure you whip around. Any questions? All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. We just went from the Kimura lock. Our opponent sits back. We hit the Kimura sweep. Sometimes, so I just want to go over one thing from here. So again, I go for the Kimura. He sits back. I want to keep this like high if possible, right? I can just do a sweep from here. Let's say I try the sweep and he resists. I can also reset to my hand and get a little bit more leverage out, okay? Right now we're going to do the opposite. Maybe our opponent's already sitting back, right? Yeah. I'm going to go for the Kimura sweep. He's going to block it by extending a post. That's the only way to block it. And it's going to set up my Kimura trap. Not the actual Kimura trap, a trap for the Kimura. So from here, I do the same thing. I get up onto my left hand. My right foot hits the ground. I go for the Kimura sweep. Boom. He posts. I can't continue my Kimura. I just can't, okay? From here, my left hand is going to grab his wrist. My right hand is going to grab my left hand. I'm going to sit my butt out and go right into my Kimura. As soon as I hit resistance here, I'm dropping back to the Kimura here. Adjusting my position and getting the finish. This is one of my favorite basic combinations from the guard. Again, one more time. From here, my opponent's sitting back. Cool, yeah, you're trying to pass my guard, whatever. I sit up, I'm going to go to the left again. Left hand hits the ground, right foot hits the ground. I go for the Kimura. As soon as I hit resistance, I drop back, I go for the Kimura sweep. As soon as I hit resistance, I drop back for the Kimura sweep. From here, I come up, boom, hit resistance, link, and get to my side for the finish. Okay, one more time. Go a little bit slower. Adjust my positioning here. Good. Come up for the Kimura sweep. I legitimately go for it because I need a hard reaction here. As soon as I hit that wall, sacrifice throw. Left hand grabs the wrist, right hand grabs my own wrist, get to my side, and flow through for the Kimura. Any questions? All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. Dave comes up. Okay, let's stop right here. I was seeing a lot of this when these guys are running the drill, where they get so excited that they forget to connect the hands. If you do not connect the hands, and your opponent's giving you a decent amount of resistance even, right now they're just flow drilling, but if your opponent gives you any kind of real resistance, you will not finish the Kimura unless you're ridiculously strong. And I've never met anyone strong enough to kind of forcefully bend someone's arm without connecting their own hands. So please, please, please connect the hands together. Don't get too excited. I remind him he needs to connect the hands, and he gets a tap. He could be a little bit more on his side, but that wasn't too bad. I don't know why he keeps going under, but he makes the adjustment. Goes over. Okay, from here, he's having a little bit of trouble because look, this is Bob's spine right now. And this is Dave's spine right now, generally speaking. That can't happen. You have to be as far perpendicular to your opponent as you can. So for example, if Bob's spine is like this, your spine needs to be hit all the way over here. Dave's head needs to move all the way towards this direction here. Again, you should be able to look into your opponent's ear comfortably. Very hard to finish the Kimura from a parallel position. There we go. See, that was a little bit better. All right, we got Gabe in the white gi on the bottom and Ernest in the blue gi on top, and his son is watching his dad. A little bit of moral support. Looks like we're in the middle of the drill already. Looks like Gabe's kind of halfway into the Kimura. Let's see what happens. Looks like he's got it. Okay. Here, we see it right now. Got to connect your hands. Got to keep them connected, and it's got to be a strong connection. All right, switches to the sweep and gets it. Very nice.
Got no complaints about that one. Pretty good transition from a standard Kimura lock to a sweep. Okay, look. Again, I mean, he's got like a fake connection here. He's so close to a real connection, he might as well connect his hands. But he got excited. Everything else is in position. Look, he's far 90 degrees to his opponent's spine here. He's got the leg high up the back here. He's ready to rotate on his side to finish the Kimura. But there's no connection here. So I got to remind him to get his hands connected. There we go. I remind him. We have a good laugh about it. Jiu-jitsu is no fun if you're too serious about it. Okay, we got Bob on the bottom running the drill here and Dave on top. So let's see how it goes. So Bob's trying to break the grip. Let's go back a little bit. It's not wrong, but it's a little bit inefficient. Watch how Bob tries to break the grip. He goes top down. He just tries to basically hammer Dave's grip off his gi. You'll notice that Dave has a good grip here. If he was really resisting, I don't think it would work. I much prefer trying to come up underneath your opponent's arms to break the grip and using the power of your legs, kind of drawing your legs in to off balance your opponent and strip their grips to the ground, just like I did on the demonstration. Again, not wrong to go top bottom, but it is a little bit more difficult. Yeah, Bob gets to the Kimura position. Dave sits back. Should have immediately switched to the sweep right now. Yep, gets onto his hand and gets a sweep. Again, I think he might have been able to pull it off the elbow. Might have been a little bit difficult. Dave is a little bit taller and a little bit bigger. Nothing wrong with doing it on the elbow. I much prefer getting onto the hand, but sometimes it's just not an option. In fact, if you go from the Kimura to the Kimura sweep without resetting, you'll probably have to do it from the elbow. Again here, kind of forces the Kimura. I would have went for the sweep from here. And let's stop it right here. Dave's about to tap, but let's see a couple of issues. Bob's spine is right here. Dave's spine is right here. I don't like the angle. I want to see Bob's spine all the way over here. Again, should be able to look into your opponent's ear. Bob can't look at Dave's ear right now. That little bit of angle, especially against a bigger and stronger opponent, going to be the difference between finishing it and not finishing it. Also, I'd like to see Bob rotate onto that left shoulder. Again, if there was any kind of resistance on it, wouldn't have worked. Yeah, I tell Bob to go under the wrist on this one. Comes up. Yeah, he fell on his shoulder, but he made the adjustment. He got back onto his elbow. I think here I tell him to get his hips real high so he can make that connection. Yeah, exactly. Now he's got enough arm length, for lack of a better word, to get that connection. Went for the sweep, abandoned it. And again, we notice here, still a little bit too parallel in my opinion. Here's Bob's spine, and here's Dave's spine. Not a 90, still a little bit straighter than that. I hope it doesn't. I didn't just give him scoliosis, but should be 90 degrees, right? Bob needs to, in my opinion, needs to move all the way out here. If Dave's spine is here, Bob's head should be right here. Again, he'll still get the finish, but if your opponent's resisting really hard, not going to happen. Manages to roll him over into mount and gets a tap. We got Khaled on the bottom here and Gabe on top here. Fortunately, they got different colored gi, so hopefully you could see with a little bit more nuance what's going on. Khaled's the one running the drill. Not bad. I'd like to see him get his hips a little bit higher. And from here, he's got to rotate to get the finish. Other than that, pretty good. Well, I don't know why he let go of the grip. Shouldn't have done that. Other than that, pretty good. Yeah, there we go. He finally gets on his side. You immediately see Gabe go for the tap. Here we have Ernest on the bottom. Oh, where's my little marker? Got Ernest on the bottom here and Bob on top. Ernest running the drill. I don't know why he's going for a triangle. The drill's supposed to be Kimura. Bob doing a good job getting a cross collar grip, and because he knows the Kimura's coming. And Gabe does a good job breaking the grip and getting that arm into Kimura position. Oh, that was very nice. We got Khaled on top here in the gray gi and Gabe on the bottom in the white gi. Oh, very nice get. Okay, we look how excited white belts get. They forgot one of the most important parts of the Kimura. Look, everything went well. He got up, he got the wrist, he turned to the side. He's almost 90 degrees if he sits back a little bit, but he forgot the connection. Nothing's going to happen here. Let's go back and look at that. If this were any kind of live resistance, Khaled could just simply straighten his arm. There's nothing keeping him from straightening his arm. You need to make that connection here so your opponent doesn't have control of their own arm anymore. It's like a hammerlock, like a Steven Seagal hammerlock, completely ineffective. I think I remind him that I tell Khaled you shouldn't have tapped on that one if you could straighten your arm. I know what he's saying, but I remind him, yeah, a little bit of resistance, is the point of the drill, not just just giving up. Gabe comes up. Okay, let's go back. It wasn't a bad get-up, but look, the hardest part, or one of the hardest parts, is getting up on this angle here, right? What's going to help you is your right foot on the ground. That way you can lift your hips up by the time you're ready to get the Kimura. Gabe puts his foot down as an afterthought. No, that foot on the ground is the engine for you to get your hips up. So please, 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 if you're going for the Kimura on the left side like Gabe is now, your right foot should be hitting the ground the same time you grab his wrist. That's how you're going to get your hips off the ground. Yeah, his hips don't get off the ground. At least he remembers to connect his hands this time. Got to keep that arm close to the body and turn. Could probably turn a little bit more. Oh, his arm's still coming up the back. It's not bad. There we go. Colin tapped a little bit late on that one. Again, get your hips up off the ground. Anytime you attack from the guard, get your hips off the ground. Gabe trying to go for it on the other side. You should remember to connect the hands. There we go. Again, not bad. I'd like to see him use his foot to get off the ground a little bit more. Yeah, he's doing a good job getting on the side. Yeah, let's stop right there. So Khaled's giving a decent amount of resistance, not letting him get the Kimura. Gabe's doing absolutely the right thing. He's using that leg on the ground and that leg on his back, obviously, to keep trying to rotate towards Khaled's head, for lack of a better word, and really get that strong bench press position.